Have you ever noticed how your spending seems to rise almost perfectly in sync with your income? You get a raise, a bonus, maybe a new job with a higher salary, and before you know it, your lifestyle quietly expands to fill the new space. That subtle shift is called lifestyle inflation. And while it feels harmless, even deserved, it's one of the biggest silent destroyers of long-term wealth. Let's break it down. Imagine someone making $60,000 a year. After taxes, maybe they bring home around $48,000. They live modestly, rent's $1,200, groceries $400, car payment $300, and they save a few $100s a month. Now they get a promotion and start earning $80,000. That's a big leap, about a 33% raise. But instead of saving the $20,000, they upgrade their apartment, buy a nicer car, go out more often, and maybe start taking trips to Cancun twice a year. Their new lifestyle absorbs every extra dollar. On paper, they're richer. In reality, they're stuck in the same financial position, just with better stuff and higher bills. That's lifestyle inflation. And while it feels harmless, even deserved, it's one of the biggest silent destroyers of long-term wealth. And the reason it destroys wealth is simple. It prevents the gap between your income and expenses from widening. That gap is where wealth is built. No matter how much you earn, if you spend nearly all of it, your financial freedom never grows. Here's the dangerous part. Most people don't even notice it happening. According to a 2023 Lending Club survey, over 60% of Americans earning more than $100,000 a year still live paycheck to paycheck. That's not because they're irresponsible, it's because their spending scaled up as fast as their earnings. The new job came with new expectations, new social circles, and subtle pressure to look the part. The bigger salary didn't change the math, it just changed the lifestyle. Let's think about the math for a moment. If someone saves 10% of their income when they make $50,000, that's $5,000 a year. If they double their income to $100,000 but also double their lifestyle, their savings rate stays the same or worse, drops if expenses grow faster. But if they had maintained their original lifestyle, they could have saved $50,000 in that same year. That's not a small difference. It's the difference between having a down payment for a home or not, between retiring early or working an extra decade. The truth is, lifestyle inflation is rooted in psychology more than finance. When income rises, we feel entitled to reward ourselves for the progress. We want to feel our success. There's nothing wrong with enjoying life, but when every small upgrade becomes permanent, our baseline expectations shift upward. That's called hedonic adaptation. It means what once felt luxurious quickly becomes normal, and soon after, necessary. Take smartphones. 15 years ago, people were fine with flip phones. Now a $1,200 iPhone feels like a must-have. Or take housing. Between 1980 and 2020, the average new American home grew from around 1,700 square feet to over 2,500 square feet. Yet family sizes actually got smaller. We're not living bigger lives, just more expensive ones. And that's how lifestyle inflation creeps in. It happens in small, justifiable steps. Instead of cooking, you start ordering takeout a few nights a week. Instead of the gym near your house, you join the luxury fitness club across town. Instead of a $25,000 car, you finance a $45,000 SUV. Each decision seems harmless, but together they create a financial treadmill that's hard to step off. Now, let's look at what this does to long-term wealth. Say you earn $80,000 at age 30 and increase your income by 3% per year until you retire at 65. If you keep your expenses steady and save 30% of your income, you could build over $2 million by retirement, assuming a modest 6% annual return. But if your lifestyle inflation eats that savings rate down to 10%, your nest egg shrinks to under $700,000. That's a $1.3 million difference, caused not by bad investments, but by incremental lifestyle creep. This is why you can't out-earn bad habits. No matter how much you make, overspending will always catch up. Lottery winners, athletes, and celebrities prove this every year. One Sports Illustrated analysis found that over 60% of former NBA players go broke within 5 years of retirement. Not because they didn't earn enough, they earned tens of millions, but their lifestyles scaled even faster. They went from normal expenses to mansions, cars, entourages, and obligations that required constant high income to sustain. When that income slowed, the expenses didn't. The same pattern happens on a smaller scale for many people. New job, new car. Promotion, new wardrobe. Bonus, expensive vacation. Each time the reward feels earned, but it also resets the baseline. And once your baseline rises, it's very hard to go back. So, what can you do to fight lifestyle inflation? It starts with awareness. If you get a raise, pause before upgrading anything. Ask yourself, what's the long-term return on this new expense? If it doesn't increase your happiness or freedom significantly, keep that money working for you instead. A good rule of thumb is to split raises in thirds. Save one-third, invest one-third, and enjoy one-third. That way, you can celebrate progress without letting it sabotage your wealth. Another effective approach is to automate your financial growth. For example, if your paycheck increases by $500 a month, set up an automatic transfer of $300 to investments before you ever see that cash in your checking account. You'll adjust to the smaller amount naturally. Behavioral economists call this paying yourself first, and it's one of the simplest ways to prevent lifestyle creep. There's also the concept of stealth wealth, quietly building financial independence without loudly displaying it. That doesn't mean living miserably or denying yourself nice things. It means choosing what actually matters. You might drive a 5-year-old car but own a paid-off home. You might skip designer clothes but take a month-long trip every summer. You're not depriving yourself. You're designing your life intentionally, not reactively. Let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Suppose two friends, Sarah and James, both start their careers earning $70,000. Sarah keeps her expenses around $45,000 a year and invests the difference. James, on the other hand, upgrades his life with every raise, moving to a pricier apartment, dining out more, and buying newer tech. After 10 years, both are making $100,000. Sarah's investment portfolio, assuming a 7% annual return, has grown to over $250,000. James's savings? Maybe $10,000. They've earned similar money, but their financial realities couldn't be more different. That's the compounding power of restraint. Every dollar you don't inflate into your lifestyle can compound into something bigger: freedom, options, peace of mind. Meanwhile, every new expense compounds in the opposite direction. A $600 car payment isn't just $600, it's $7,200 a year or $72,000 over a decade. That's the price of comfort today at the cost of independence tomorrow. Now, think about inflation, the one you can't control. In 2022 and 2023, inflation averaged around 6 to 8% in the US, driving up the cost of essentials like food, housing, and energy. That means your real expenses are already growing even if your lifestyle doesn't change. If you add lifestyle inflation on top of that, your personal inflation rate might be closer to 10 to 12%. That's unsustainable without a massive income jump. And yet, many people justify it by saying, "I work hard, I deserve it." You do deserve comfort and enjoyment, but you also deserve financial security. The problem is when short-term validation replaces long-term satisfaction. Because the truth is, financial freedom feels better than any luxury car ever could. Let's zoom out. If you can resist lifestyle inflation for just your first decade of serious earnings, the payoff is incredible. Say you earn $80,000 at age 30 and save aggressively, maybe $25,000 a year. At a 7% return, by age 40, you'd have around $350,000 invested. If you keep doing that until 50, you're looking at close to $1 million. That's financial freedom territory. You could choose to keep working, change careers, or take a sabbatical, all because you didn't inflate your lifestyle early on. Compare that to someone who spends every raise. They might have the same income, but they're locked into high expenses. That person can't take a break, can't pivot jobs, can't move to a lower paying but more fulfilling career. They're trapped by their own lifestyle. That's why lifestyle inflation doesn't just destroy wealth, it destroys freedom. Here's a mindset shift that helps. Treat raises as opportunities to accelerate wealth, not increase consumption. When your income jumps, your savings rate should jump faster. This is how wealthy people actually stay wealthy. They let their income grow while their lifestyle lags behind. That gap becomes the engine of compounding wealth. A 2022 Federal Reserve report showed that the top 10% of savers in the U.S. have a median savings rate above 30%. That's not because they all make millions, it's because they resist the urge to inflate. They build margin, and that margin builds wealth. And here's the hidden benefit. When you control lifestyle inflation, you also reduce stress. Fewer financial obligations mean fewer worries. You can handle emergencies more easily, weather job changes, or take risks others can't. That's real financial power. One more thing, don't confuse lifestyle inflation with lifestyle improvement. It's okay to spend more on things that truly add value. If upgrading your home reduces commute time or gives your family more comfort, that's not necessarily inflation, it's intentional spending. The key difference is whether the new expense aligns with your values or just your ego. Maybe you love travel or cooking or fitness. Spend more there if it brings lasting happiness, but balance it by cutting elsewhere. That's how you keep lifestyle creep in check without feeling deprived. So next time you get a raise or bonus, pause. Before upgrading your life, upgrade your goals. Think long-term. Ask, what would future me thank me for? Probably not a bigger car payment, but maybe an extra $10,000 in investments that could double in a few years. Lifestyle inflation is sneaky because it disguises itself as success. But real success isn't about how much you spend, it's about how much freedom you create. Wealth isn't built by income alone, it's built by discipline, delayed gratification, and awareness. And here's the most empowering part. Avoiding lifestyle inflation doesn't mean living small, it means living smart. It means designing a life where your money works harder than your emotions, where every raise brings you closer to independence, not further into obligation. So if you're ready to stop the cycle and start building lasting wealth, remember, control your lifestyle and your wealth will take care of itself. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Taz's Money for more insights on mastering your financial life. Because the secret to real wealth isn't in earning more, it's in needing less. And that's a truth worth living by.